Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sad Hope will confess to Brooke while Ridge and Eric hope for a deal with Carter. For starters, it looks like Daphne will rein Carter again and push him to open his eyes to who Hope really is. It's clear that Daphne views Hope as a manipulator who's only interested in Carter because of what he can give her. Daphne will reiterate that Hope's just using Carter and chasing power, but will he continue to defend Hope on Friday's B&B occasion? Daphne will do whatever she can to change Carter's perspective and push him to give company control back to the Forresters. At some point, Ridge and Eric Forrester will pay a visit to Forrester Creations as well. That'll give Eric and Ridge a chance to speak with Carter in person about the future of the company. Eric will note on the fact that the old Carter is still in there nearly and hope that he's willing to delve in. Ridge and Eric will deliver and claim to Carter, so they may hope to strike a deal now while there's still stopgap of risking Carter's relationship with the family. Still, Eric and Ridge may advise him to take action now, if Carter still wants to make amends with the Forresters. Will Carter consider filing the proper LLC paperwork and putting an end to this commercial agony? At the cabin, Brooke will show up and see that Hope's derangement. Hope will presumably give Brooke updates on all the Daphne drama, including the kiss she planted on Carter at the office. Brooke will quiz Hope about her love with Carter and where effects stand now, but Hope may confess she's not sure. Although Hope's been putting on a good show for Daphne about fighting for her man and guarding the love they partake, Hope may be filled with query as she opens up to Brooke. Hope and Carter's relationship could be on the verge of worsening, so stay tuned for any delicate romantic news that might be brewing. Hope got the shock of her life when Carter didn't shoot Daphne quilting. The French perfumer created 2-hand scents for Forrester Creations and, along the way, began to catch passions for Carter. Daphne was firstly brought in by Steffi to drive a wedge between Carter and Hope while creating a great scent. She snappily realized that she couldn't play Carter, and more importantly, Daphne didn't want to. For the last 6 months, Carter and Hope had been in a relationship, but the chemistry sizzled snappily. They were left as businessmates who stole Forrester Creations during an achievement. They declare their commitment to one another frequently, but lately, Carter has begun to look at Hope else. He's technically the head of Forrester, but she has come drunk with power by deputy. Daphne and Carter have talked a lot, and she sees his internal struggle. Sure, it was his idea to steal the company, but it has come at a huge price. He lost his stylish friend and the family that considered him one of them. He has also lost his tone respect and is having a hard time living with all of that. Daphne sees all of this and has addressed it, while Hope has either minimized it or told Carter how he should be feeling. Carter has suggested to Hope that they should give the company back, and she lost her mind just at the study of doing such a thing. Indeed, if Carter does love Hope, he clearly isn't feeling supported by her in the same way that he's by Daphne. Carter and Daphne participated a brief kiss that Hope just so happened to see, and she jumped into action. First, she talked to Carter to see if he'd admit that it happened on his own, and when he did, he tried to condemn Daphne, despite kissing her back. Hope also took end at Daphne and was thrilled to find out that she was getting ready to leave for Paris. Before leaving, Daphne didn't hash words and indicted Hope of using Carter and not really minding about what the preemption has done to him. Carter came into the design office and intruded their fight. Hope informed him that it was time for Daphne to leave, and she pushed him to tell Daphne to return to Paris. Rather, Carter tells Daphne that she needs to stay. They've just launched the scent line, and it would be ridiculous for her to leave now. Hope was stunned when Carter did the contrary of what she was averring, and after they dissented in front of Daphne, Hope stormed out. Carter followed her, and it's about to get really unattractive for them because the only thing really relating them is work. Now that they aren't agreeing on important details, all hell is sure to break loose. Daphne said absolutely nothing as they argued. Will she take serious end at Carter or just sit back and watch the drama that Hope is about to produce? How much longer do you give Carter and Hope as a couple? Luna was free after her amnesty news, which meant no further ankle examiner. At the Spencer manse, Finn put an arm around Steffi and backed her up when it came to Luna demanding to serve her time in captivity. Luna continued to protest and made further prognostications about the trouble to her life, but Steffi, Finn, Ridge and Taylor claimed she should be back behind bars. After Steffi called Deputy Chief Bradley over, he brought an officer with him and instructed her to put bind on Luna. Bill claimed this house arrest arrangement was legal, but Baker was prepared to return Luna to the slammer anyway. Moments laterly, Baker entered a phone call and wondered if the person on the other end of the line was sure. Once Baker disconnected, he'd the officer remove the bind as well as the ankle examiner since Luna had been pardoned. The look on Bill's face suggested he ever pulled further strings for Luna's freedom. Finn was easily dumbfounded and concerned, but Steffi, Ridge and Taylor were downright furious. Of course, Luna was left crying gashes of joy since she was officially a free woman. At the sanitarium, Poppy sounded blithesome and was eager to keep relating with Leah's sisters. Still, Poppy was frightened when Lee eventually mentioned commodity about Finn being Luna's father. Poppy realized Lee knew about her association with Finn and Luna's maternity stunner, so she climbed to explain. Although Poppy tried to act like her unhappy night with Finn was still beautiful, Lee was shocked and ultimately choked Poppy up against the wall. At Il Giardino, Deacon questioned why Sheila had so important sympathy for Poppy, but she knew what it was like to be separated from a child. Cleric was as willing to overlook Poppy's wild child history and refocused out that she raised Luna, who turned into the kind of person who'd wipe out Tom and Paul Hollis. There was some talk about Luna being a bad seed, but Sheila still felt for Poppy under the circumstances. Cleric, on the other hand, easily still had trust issues when it came to Poppy. Sheila and Deacon will get updates on Luna's maternity stunner soon, so stay tuned. Lee can't believe he forgave her family and allowed he back into her life. Poppy really did prey on Lee's family all those times agone. But, rather of sleeping with Jack, she had coitus with Finn when he was only 18 times old. Poppy allowed. That Jack was Luna's father all these times, but now she knows it was her own son. Poppy wouldn't know what hit her when Lee gets through with her. Poppy does her stylish to defend herself, but she also needs to realize who she's dealing with. Nothing messes with Lee or her son or there's hell to pay. Sheila has learned that the hard way and now so will Poppy. Lee unleashes on her family like no way ahead and indeed gets physical with her. Lee would kill Poppy if she could get down with it and is still tempted to do it anyway and let the chips fall where they may. At least Poppy has a new friend. Sheila has taken quite a relish to Poppy and indeed feels bad for her. She knows what it's like to be separated from one's child. Deacon wants to understand his woman's newfound seductiveness with Poppy but feels that they may be entering dangerous home. He fears that Sheila is getting too hung up with Finn again, which can only lead to trouble. But imagine when Sheila learns that she has another grandchild who's also a periodical killer who just wants acceptance and has a reason for every crime he ever committed. It'll be like a chip off the old block. How will Deacon ever handle two Sheilas in his life when one is hard enough?